Okay, so this is the June 5th core team triage meeting. And the first item we have on our agenda is Nico with status update of async features discussions.
We had a foundation meeting on Tuesday. We talked about the shape of the documentation we would like to take, which seems to be taking shape. The ecosystem working group is going to help out with that. And there's, in general, progress on blocking features. So that's all progressing, I guess I would say, reasonably smoothly. There is one question that's come up around whether if we look forward to what async functions and traits, how they're going to work, whether we're forwards compatible, whether we have a good story there. That's on internals. I could put a link, but probably too low level to go into here. So,
okay. Anyone have anything else? Okay. Florian, establishing better procedures, check-in with teams, working groups, roadmap progress, etc.
It sounds like you're.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hardware button. No progress, not much more to say.
Okay, staged RFC, stage design, whatever we call it, Nico.
We had a meeting last week where we started trying to talk about what that might mean for the Lang team, continuing to discuss there in the meta week. I don't think there's been any strong development since then, but we're talking about it.
Legal status updates. Nico, Florian.
We had a phone call yesterday, and we're, I think, on track with actually moving towards getting policies on the Cray.io site. Yeah.
We finally found the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
And he was very helpful.
Yeah, he said it's probably going to move after all hands. So currently everyone's preparing.
After the Mozilla all hands, just
Yeah, Mozilla.
Yeah, okay. White papers, Florian.
White papers, still same status. I'm slowly working through a couple of paragraphs with Anna from PingCap. But yeah, it's their side business currently.
Core team keynote, Florian.
Yes, we have a theme, which is a little investigation on what how our process informs the results and how we should first figure out what results we actually want before we change our process, and also an overview of what things we currently have, what works, what doesn't work. Also to give people a little bit of an insight how the project actually works. We currently have a draft title, but yeah, I may just share a document with you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds awesome. I feel like this is way ahead of where this keynote usually is. So that's great. Website team working group for maintenance, Florian?
So I haven't announced an official team, but the website is at a state where people are actually actively contributing and fixing bugs like fonts, translations. The Turkish translation is completely finished, except for a font rendering bug that someone will fix. So it's productive, and yeah, things are moving, but slowly starting to move without Manish and me doing all the work. So I'm going to do a team announcement next week and also make an official announcement about translations after that soft launch.
Okay, Manish is only sort of here, so I'm going to assume RESTconf planning is going okay. Nico, scheduling a meeting for CVE postmortems.
I decided I don't want to do that. But I was talking to Florian, and he had the good suggestion that probably if we did want to do this sort of thing, it doesn't really make sense for like me necessarily to schedule a meeting, but what might make more sense is find someone who's motivated to talk to the 2 or 3 people who are involved and just do it. So I might do that. If anyone has suggestions for who that might be. But I think a meeting doesn't really make sense.
Are you looking for suggestions right now? Or
I'm trying to decide if I am or not.
okay.
No, we could discuss it on Discord or something.
Okay. Next item is planning update all hands 2020.
So currently none, but maybe let's start after all hands. The Mozilla all hands.
One thing I will say, yeah, maybe I did get a question. Santiago was asking me with respect to Russ Latom planning, if we had any idea what month, because it might affect their scheduling. So I think they were, flexible, but probably just saying there's benefit, I guess, to starting to think about it now, so we can actually answer people's questions like this.
We should maybe start collecting people's timelines, like if they already know if they have any plans next year.
But in vague terms, we're still thinking like early 2020. And are we thinking Berlin again?
No, Berlin is out. We're a bit too big for the office. So,
okay.
Or we have to book a hotel. I don't know of any good venues in Berlin, to be quite frank, that have small rooms where we can actually be productive as we are in Berlin. I think the room sizes in the Berlin office are actually quite good for smaller group meetings, and most hotels have like 20, 35 per room. It's just not pretty good.
So are we still thinking Europe, or haven't got that far even?
We haven't got that far. I'm personally speaking absolutely not attached to that. We could also move out of Europe for once, for making it easier for some other people to travel and work harder for others. One thing that we need to think about probably is what's the actual size of the all hands, because it's slowly becoming, quite frankly, just a budget question on how many people we can fly in and have productively work together.
I was just going to say, this is starting to sound expensive. We got to figure out how we're going to budget for that.
Yeah, but also finding a fair way of figuring out, like maybe even like half of the group just says, hey, I don't have time anyways, or I don't want to travel for this, then we're out in the clear. But if everyone wants to come in, we have to somehow find a way of being fair to everyone. That's
we should discuss this. Yeah, it seems like we've kind of done a rather ad hoc planning in the past, but we're good that we're starting earlier, and B, it's growing to such a size that we probably need to make this more of a real effort. I wonder if we should consider trying to find someone to help us do it too.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds like we don't have further discussion on that. So is that, I think that's it for the open part of the meeting. I guess I left the turn off engagement discourse badges on there and crossed off because I took care of it. A bunch of badges have been turned off. If anyone complains, feel free to direct them my way. Have anything else for the rest of the open part of the meeting? If not, Manish, if you could change the recordings, please.